Hi there, I'm Vincent Bos, and I'm a life coach, relationship coach, and breakup coach. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing your ex misses you later. I provide audio coaching for breakup recovery, trying to get an ex back, attracting someone new, and life coaching. Visit www.dateme.tips for more details. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. Subscribe to my weekly support emails. The link is in the description. So now let's get back into today's podcast. And today we are discussing your ex misses you later. So if you have been dumped and want to try to get your ex back, you need your ex to miss you. But they don't seem to be missing you right now. In today's podcast, I'll be discussing the 3 reasons why your ex misses you later. So let's get straight into this, and point number 1 is time and space. So please let me know in the comments how long ago you last contacted your ex. Let me know. Now this might mean it was literally at the time of a breakup, and hence you'll be letting me know when your breakup actually was, how long ago that took place. But probably for most of you, you will actually be typing in the comments when you most recently contacted your ex, and that won't actually be connected to the breakup. So you need to be honest. You need to be honest if you have spoke to your ex post-breakup, because it's not just about when the breakup took place necessarily, it's about when you last contacted your ex. And that could be for necessary or unnecessary reasons. So let me know in the comments, please. Now, the reason I'm saying this is we really need to understand about time and space. When we're talking about, in today's podcast, how your ex misses you later, they miss you later for point number 1, because if you consider at the time of a breakup or potentially beyond that, there has been no time and space where they could miss you. Someone can only miss someone when they are not in their life. I can't miss you if we are spending time together. I can't miss you if we are talking repetitively. I can't miss you if we are talking even monthly. I can't miss you in that time. So when a dumpee would generally think to themselves, well, I need my ex to come back and they don't seem to be any closer to doing so, and I reach out to them periodically and ask if we can sort things out and nothing seems to change, you have to realise you're not giving your ex the dumper chance to miss you. They can't miss you at the time of a breakup. You was in a relationship only 2 minutes ago, okay? The relationship has just ended. At the time of a breakup, they're not going to miss you. They're not going to miss you even weeks or months post-breakup, even if there has been no communication, because the length of time generally has to be longer than that. Now, of course, there are going to be some moments where they might miss you in that time, but not the pull necessary to reconnect. Generally speaking, as I see it from my own research, most dumpers start to miss their dumpees 6 to 12 months post-breakup, but more importantly, 6 to 12 months post-conversation. And even if you think, well, it wasn't really a conversation, I just messaged them, that counts as well. So if you have been dumped and you implement my version of a no contact rule fairly instantaneously, okay, we're looking at 6 to 12 months down the line from the breakup. But if you had a communication, whether that was a conversation or whether you reached out to yourself, the clock is restarted. And the reason for this is they can't miss you. If you're in their life, why would they feel that loss? You feel the loss because you believe your ex-dumper is never coming back. If you thought they were coming back, you wouldn't be missing them as much as you do right now. They have played their hand, you could say. They've showed their cards, and you believe what they are saying. What they are saying is, the relationship is over. We will never be together again. I won't change my mind. Those things are ringing in your ears because you genuinely believe what they are saying. Their actions, their choices, their decisions, their words, you believe them. But your ex-dumper believes that you will always be their safety net. They don't believe that you might move forward on your own path and meet someone new. They don't believe you are going to be someone that they can't reconnect with if they change their mind. And that is the problem. You believe when they are saying they will never be connected with you again, but they don't believe that you could ever do that yourself. And you might think, well, of course not, I didn't say that. But it's not in that regard. They need to feel your loss. They need to feel that you are not in their life and you are not waiting for them. If they don't feel that, then how on earth could they ever miss you? And that is the main element of point number 1. We're talking about time and space. Your ex misses you later because early on, post-breakup, they certainly couldn't miss you because your relationship was so recently. But if you continue to have some level of communication, whether this is constant or every so often, they will still believe you are there. They will still believe you are their safety net. And hence we need time and space. When that combines, there is an increased chance of them missing you. And generally speaking, when you consider everything we've just discussed in point number 1, that happens later. Months and months and months and months later. Not days, not weeks. So now let's get into point number 2 and the second point of today's podcast. Please give this video a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like my content, subscribe to the channel to keep updated. And point number 2 is they miss their interpretation of you. So what this means is that your ex-dumper will miss their vision of you. Now that represents what they believe you to be. It doesn't necessarily mean this is you. So how can we break this down? Your ex-dumper ended your relationship. At that time, they are believing that they know everything about you. They believe that they know your every move. They believe that they know your daily routine, weekly, monthly, yearly. They know you inside and out, and they have decided, sadly, that you two are not right for one another. Now, if you want to try to get your ex back, you need to be the type of person that your ex-dumper would find attractive, but not just them. You need to be trying to become a more attractive version of yourself for you, and anybody who would come across you or know you would feel that attraction. But of course, that includes your ex as well. And what we have to understand here is if you are the same person that were dumped, then your ex-dumper is not going to want to reconnect with you. Why would they want to get back with someone that they don't believe is right for them? Now this brings in a broader topic. Should you be changing for your ex? Well, I would say you should only change for yourself. You should only make authentic change. You should only become a version 2.0 of yourself because you want to grow and improve. And the byproduct of this is that other people, including your ex, will start to grow romantic emotional attraction. So you shouldn't just do it for your ex. You should do it for you. But the byproduct of which should attract your dumper as well. But what this means in point number 2 is that if your ex-dumper believes they know everything about you and that person is not who they want to be with, then change is necessary. Now, like I said a little earlier, whether this is completely accurate or just a perception, well, the reality is that your ex-dumper will be going on their interpretation. That's all they can go on because, of course, they're not actually with you. So this is represented in social media. It's represented with mutual friends, passing on information. All of these things is how your ex-dumper will build up a picture of what and who they believe you are right now. Now, if you don't have social media, if you don't have mutual friends, you can still reconnect with your ex using the power of no contact. But you have to understand that in that regard, your ex-dumper will be using their imagination a lot more than if they have some additional thoughts connected via socials, friends of friends or whatever, feeding back that information. Now this can play into your favour in different ways. But if your ex-dumper, for instance, believes that you are someone who would never be able to go a few weeks without contacting them, and then you do, and you maintain my version of a no contact rule, then this in itself will show that you have changed as a person because they believed you were needier than you actually are. So you can see how it works, but the perception is absolutely vital because your ex-dumper misses their interpretation of you. And if their interpretation of you is you are the same person that they dumped, they are not likely to miss you. And the interpretation is only going to change over time. 2 weeks after the breakup, your ex-dumper is not going to believe you've changed. They just will not see it as something which could have happened. And to be honest, they're accurate with this. How could any of us really change in a couple of weeks? This is why it takes time. This is why your ex-dumper can miss you later. Let's just give a very quick example of this. Let's say you were living with your parents and your ex-dumper, originally when they were together in a relationship, was wanting you both to get a house together. Let's just say your ex-dumper had a job and had their contribution that they was going to put towards this house, but you never really wanted to get a job. For whatever reason, you didn't want to get a job, you didn't get a job, and hence you didn't have the money to put towards this house that your ex-dumper wanted to have with you. At some stage, your ex became your ex because they became fed up with the situation. They have got their side of the money, you haven't got yours, and you haven't got it because you're not putting in the effort to get a job in this theoretical situation. Now let's just say further down the line, post-breakup, due to social media or due to friends of friends, it gets back to your ex, but you have got yourself a job. You're standing on your own 2 feet. And after a while even, you're starting to talk about getting your own place. Now this, in that regard, is going to showcase change. It's going to showcase that you have more ambition, you have more confidence perhaps. You are standing on your own 2 feet and you're moving your life forward. That could be deemed as attractive. That could be deemed as change. Now this takes time. You're not going to be able to get a job, gain your savings, and stand on your own 2 feet in a couple of weeks. This is likely going to take months. And that is the link. The interpretation your ex has of you will, in fact, connect with if they miss you. And that change is going to take time. Now, if you would like advice and support about how to try and increase the chance of one day getting your ex back, then you may want to consider my audio coaching service, where me and you can speak one-on-one about your unique specific situation. This is the best and diamond level of support that I can provide. Go to my website www.dateme.tips for more information about how I can become your coach and your teammate via my audio coaching service. Talking about your feelings can also improve your mental health. It helps prevent the buildup of negative emotions, which can lead to stress, anxiety, depression, and even physical health issues. Speak your heart to free your mind. So now let's get into point number 3 and the final point of today's podcast. If you feel that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description. And point number 3 is they need to live in the real world. So today we're speaking about how your ex misses you later. And one of the main reasons that they will miss you later is because they have to live in the real world. Now what that means is during your relationship, unfortunately, they lost romantic emotional attraction. When it hit the necessary low point, they ended the relationship. And at that time, they would have believed that what they were going to move through their life next was going to be something with more opportunity and eventually be more fulfilling. They wouldn't have exchanged your relationship for the single life if they didn't believe eventually things were going to come good for them in a way where they felt more happy, more fulfilled, more satisfied, all of those things and more. That is why they've made the change. Now let's just say, further down the line post-breakup, they come to that realization that the real world is much tougher than they thought. It's much more difficult to find the life that they was desiring. Maybe that involved finding a new romantic partner, and they've quickly discovered it's actually really hard being single, and it's even harder finding someone who matches their expectations. Perhaps they couldn't find anybody who was better than you in all of the ways and metrics that they would consider. They're coming to that realization that actually the relationship with you was not all that bad. They're looking back, and things such as the fading effect bias are helping you as a dumpee. If you want to know more about that, please check out my other podcasts. But things such as the fading effect bias can help you as a dumpee as time moves on, as your ex-dumper realizes that the real world is much tougher. And this is why we say they need to live in the real world. They need to understand that their thoughts, their fantasies are not often the reality. It's a much tougher world out there than perhaps they considered, whether that is relationships, whether that is jobs, whether that is just feeling that fulfillment in the lifestyle that they imagine. They've gone on a bit of a different path. They've taken a gamble. They've taken a leap of faith. And it doesn't always come off. In fact, often it feels a lot scarier than they would imagine, and it feels a lot more off-putting than they could ever have predicted. If these things start to flood their mind, this is when they can start missing you. But, as described, it's not going to happen instantly. It's going to take months before they come to that realization, and that is another reason why your ex misses you later.